Hello, welcome to When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, wearing clothes. Yeah. Uh, I'm using Cat's K-pop profile page instead of playing video because when I play a K-pop video, it usually gets copyrighted, so I'm just saving time. And you've heard this a million times, but anyway, who cares? So apparently, the last couple of uh, K-pop topics we've talked about, it's either been "Kiss of Life" or "Cat's Eye." I don't know why, or New Jeans, but I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just uh, it's the only thing that's of interest lately because there's like all the news in K-pop. It's really just drama. There's just no good news. I mean, other than like your group, if your group has a nice single out, or like I think ITZY with their B side, it's a no no. I think that came out because I have most of their albums. I believe that came out on It's Me, and wasn't that ITZY's second album? But and I said when that album first came out, I said that song should have been a single. ITZY is one of the worst groups when it comes to title tracks, and this is why ITZY fell off because like ITZY fell off after Sneakers because it was like that was like the third time in a row they put out a crappy single, and then it was like it was like five albums in a row where their title track was just bad, but they all had one thing in common: the B sides were better. You know. But anyway, this isn't about ITZY. So people are still complaining or talking about Manon from katseye. And here's the thing: katseye is not a K-pop group, and that's what I don't understand. I know they're on a K-pop label, but they're not a K-pop group. And I've been saying this from the start that they're not a K-pop group. They don't have any songs in Korean. I mean, to be K-pop, you have to be well. You don't have to be Korean, but you should sing in Korean, right? Doesn't that make sense? I mean, I don't know, but whatever. They formed using a K-pop style survival show, and they're on the K-pop label. So you have people who like K-pop just or like I like Cat's Eye because they're on a K-pop label, but their music's not good enough. They don't carry themselves like K-pop idols. Oh, and like another reason why I can't use a video anyway. If I used a video of Cat's Eye dancing, because I think we did that like two videos ago. But oh yeah, but I had the sound down and I think I made it small. Whatever. If I see Yunche dancing like a stripper, I'm gonna be too distracted and not gonna be able to talk anyway, because she is smoking hot. I'll say that the one thing that Cat's Eye has, Yunche, if I'm saying her name right, is smoking hot, and the fact that you actually have because like she's the only K-pop idol in this group. She's the only one that could actually be in the K-pop group because like she has the visuals. She carries herself like an idol. Well, she tries. It's kind of hard when you're with this group of slags. But anyway, uh, the fact that you have Yoonshae dressing like a stripper with like the other five girls is like I lose my train of thought. And then what was that one song where like they're bending over, grabbing the ass? Like they have the most stripper like choreography I've ever seen in K-pop, even though they're not K-pop. Anyway, now the things that I guess would make Cat's Eye K-pop is like all the plastic surgery that they've had to make them, obviously better looking, but even with the surgery, like, and I know, you're like, well, who are you to talk about them? I'm just a dude on the internet. I can do what I want. Um, and we're gonna get to Manon, but Manon got kicked out of Katseye when they said she was on hiatus. I don't know why everyone is still going. What's going on? That's what I don't understand. She's not in Katseye anymore. Okay, but anyway, even though they're not a K-pop group, we're gonna still talk about them. We're gonna talk about Sophia. These are new updated pictures on their profile. Because remember last time we talked about them, we used this page. The pictures were different, but whatever. Um, all I see is 5 pounds of makeup. Like, and she's still come on. This Cat's Eye reminds me of when I did those podcasts about Gungadun and Gungadun's visuals. Yikes. Gungadun probably had the worst visuals out of any K-pop group I've ever seen. You know, I don't know what was going on there. I mean, and then the one that should have been the visual wasn't the visual, and we're talking about God, what's her name? Sejong, right? You know, like the only one that's famous now, the one that does like soap operas, but she wasn't the visual of the group because at the time anyway, on their page, she was just like a vocal, and so I guess the girl that they had to be the visual, I guess she knew the right people, but I mean, it was like, remember, a group is only as popular as your visual, and the girl that they were marketing as their visual was like the wrong girl, and then the girl that ends up being famous, anyway, whatever. I don't know if you can hear that, but I have loud neighbors. They play rap music, so obviously they've been to jail. But anyway, um, there are no visuals here. Okay, Sophia could not be in a real K-pop group. There's just standards in K-pop. It's just completely. It's K-pop is completely different, and I know I keep saying this, but Cat's Eye is not a K-pop group. Okay, we will get to Manon. Daniela, for some reason, Daniela looks like a dude to me. And see, and I think half the reason why Daniela wears or tries to wear, skimpy clothes is because it's a distraction from her face. Because she looks like she reads books to kids at the library, if you know what I mean. She looks like she reads books to kids at the library. Okay? And she's harsh, she's hard, she's not soft, she's not cute. She's just a certain hardness about her. But she dresses like a stripper though. And see, Laura, the plastic surgery she got made her look better, but I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why she got picked. I don't. It makes no sense. She's your typical Los Angeles chick, whatever, whatever. But and also all these chicks have boyfriends. Like Cat's Eye would be so much more popular if these girls would act right and and you gotta blame the label too, but yeah, you can have a boyfriend, but keep it a secret because you have to understand, like, a big part of K-pop is the parasocial fans. And I know I don't get it, but there's people, I guess it's simp culture where because like they're trying to be K-pop even though they don't have any songs like Iran, but whatever. So, but you have the fandom though. And so, why do a lot of people like K-pop groups? It goes for the men groups and the girl groups, because there's some people, a big chunk of people think that they have a chance to date the idol. That's why it's always a controversy when an idol has a boyfriend or girlfriend, because there's a big section of the internet that's like, oh my god, you're supposed to be mine. But anyway, Laura looks dirty. She just looks dirty, and I don't mean in a good way. You know, I don't mean in a Brazzers way. You know, she looks like she needs a shower. And then also the topics she talks about are detrimental to the group. And I'm saying all this because when we get to Manon, you'll realize why you got to kick her out. What is this? What is this crap? Like, every girl in this group looks like they should be a backup dancer, right? And like, these are good pictures. That I mean, K-pop profiles. This website doesn't, as far as I know, I haven't seen any ill will towards any group, and they seem to be very fair. And they even have new groups on here, so it's not like they're biased. They just have the profiles up. But I mean, if you look at even this picture, they look like backup dancers, and you see it's updated. You don't have Manon in the pic, but anyway, they look like backup dancers. So far, she is a backup dancer. Come on, be honest. Are you serious? Be honest. She's better looking out of the first two, but she looks like she needs a shower. I can't explain it. It's just she looks like she needs to take a shower. And what is she's barely wearing any clothes. Name what? Imagine Ive, okay? Imagine Lee Seo wearing this. It would make me very happy, but dude, the internet, the netizens would lose their minds because this is the most un K-pop idol outfit you could wear. Okay? I mean, I'm trying to think of one, and I'm trying to think like I don't even think Jenny would wear this. Seriously, like that's how tacky this is. Like, what is she? Like, I guess that's a skirt. What is that? What's going on? And I know photo shoot, but still, and I've seen them talk to wardrobe. Okay, I've seen them talk to wardrobe, and I remember specifically one of them. Daniela was being fitted or whatever, like trying on clothes, and she was like, "Can we make it skimpier, or can we shorten this skirt? Can we make this top smaller?" I'm like, dude, if you want to perform naked, just do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Megan is confused. I don't know if she wants to. I'm just talking about this picture, but it shouldn't convey all of these negative messages. Oh God, the hat with the cat hairs with the guns. Really? What is going on? Who? Forget the fact that I'm wearing a jacket from Old Navy. Okay, forget about me. I'm not a K-pop idol. Just a dude on the internet. She's confused. She's like, do I want to like, I don't know. I get it's like almost like I don't know, like combining a extra or whatever, the lead from a Disney Channel show or a hooker. Like I don't know which. Like what is this looks atrocious. I can't be the only one. These are official pictures, and this is what you do. This this took this took a meeting to to go. This is the outfit. This isn't K-pop. This I can't imagine one idol wearing this outfit. There's so much wrong with Katseye. Why is it? I like Yoonche. I think she's gorgeous. She's got a great look. She could be in a K-pop group. Okay, but they slut her up to fit in with Cat's Eye, and it I just I don't know. This it doesn't look right because this isn't her personality, and I feel bad for her. I hope when Cat's Eye, I mean Cat's Eye's not going to stay together for long. Like if they have a 7-year contract, I don't know. I didn't do the research. I don't know if they have a 7-year contract. They'll break up after the 7 years. Okay, and hopefully Yoon Chae goes back to Korea and debuts in a K-pop group. She looks great. She looks sexy. I'm very distracted by what she's wearing, so it works. She is definitely the best looking one out of all of them so far. She great visuals. It's just, but she looks like an idol that is like dressing up for Halloween, pretending to be a American pop slut. But hey, I'm happy. I get to see her look all sexy, so hey, whatever. But it just doesn't fit. And then this is an old picture of Manon because obviously she wasn't in the new photo shoots. Member on hiatus, meaning she's not in anymore. Anyway, with all the problems this group has, okay, so you heard my whole spiel as we're going down, right? Okay, but you add that, and then I think all of them, not all of them, but you see her pictured with a man or boyfriend, her with a boyfriend supposedly. She has a boyfriend supposedly. She has a boyfriend supposedly. She doesn't. And then once again, you have two of them. Like she's like she claims to be some weird gender sexuality. Well, like what are we doing? Once again, that's not very K-pop like. And then Megan did the same thing, right? Okay. So you have all that, and then you have this person who, Manon, who doesn't like the hard work. She's not as hard, and I'm basing this on the whole sort of survival show. It's like it seems like she's not cut out for the idol life. And then remember, they want them to be popular in Korea. I'm assuming that's the goal because if you're popular in Korea, that kind of solidifies you as a K-pop group, even though you're not K-pop. But you want that rabid fan base, and so you want the type of fans that are gonna buy like 20 copies of one album because you have like 6 different variant covers and like only like this one rare photo card is in every third album. So like you want that group because the whole point is to make money. And so it's just certain members, you just they bring a group down. And I'm basing this on the survival show. They came off as not liking her, and they didn't like the so-called special treatment she got because it's even though it's a survival show, they pre-picked all these girls because that always comes out, and so she was getting special treatment, and so it just comes off that like they just wanted her in there anyway. And then these labels are known for having fake controversies and kicking out members because that causes press, and then it makes people more interested in the group. Like, is it a coincidence that they kicked out Manon when katseye was starting a new tour and gonna play Coachella and gonna play some other festival? Like, I think katseye has played like two festivals already, and they were already in the news because they kicked out Manon. I'm sorry, Manon went on hiatus, and it was like constantly in the news. And they were in the news not for their music, because their music was being criticized badly, because their music's not that good. They're being criticized by their music. Now you make Manon a story that that's the news instead of their whatever. What was that song, like Zucchini Girl or something? That was some Internet Girl. Whatever. It was a bad song. So if you're gonna have Cat's Eye playing festivals, do you want the main story to be that their music's not good, or do you want the main story to be, oh my god, like a member's on hiatus, a member's missing, and now people are just glad that the show is gonna go on, you know? And it's like maybe you're getting sympathy, and you don't need her in the group anyway. The group is fine with five. You don't want an even number in a K-pop group anyway. You usually don't. You usually don't. Wiki Miki is one of those groups because the way they see Wiki Miki was a group I'm pretty sure they disbanded, but they're one of my favorite groups. They have 8 members. But the reason why it worked with Wiki Miki is because all of them were really good dancers, and so the way they danced, they a lot of times they were just spread out in a line dancing, or they would break up in two groups of four. I liked how they did it, but like, so it would be like four dancing, and the other two are on the side, and then like they would do different formations where it would be like six dancing and two on whatever. They just made sure that everyone was seen, and if you couldn't do it where everyone could be seen, they were just off on the side, and then they'd jump in, but then they'd be like the lead of the new formation. They did it right. But Cat's Eye, their choreo, you would have Manon hiding a lot, and the reason why you hide a member is because they're not the best dancer. We just have to be honest. If a member is always on the side or behind someone, it's just because they're hiding something. So to me, like the way they have their choreography, they're saying that she doesn't have the work ethic, and you don't want her. And I know you're on stage, everyone's looking at you, like everyone still has eyes on them. But if you have constant choreography where she's behind someone, well, you're sending a message, and you're also sending a message is you're probably going to get rid of her anyway. I mean, most of this stuff I've seen, she's kind of on the side. I mean, everyone has their time in the center, but she's not in the center the most, by far. I know in the photograph she is, but I'm talking about where it counts, like on stage. So, and then remember, like when she went on hiatus, she put out I think it was an Instagram post saying like, because the company said she was sick, and then she put out a post saying, no, I'm fine. So that right there was when I was like, oh, so they kicked her out. Like, I don't suffer from wishful thinking. I just don't suffer from that. Just like with Le Seraphim, Kim Garum was, and I'm not just saying this. Kim Garum was my favorite idol for that 2 week period. She was an idol because I just thought she was smoking hot. Like, I'm I'm a guy. I like good looking female idols. It's not that hard, and like most of these idols train for years, so they all pretty much sing this on the same level. They pretty much all dance on the same level. It's an anomaly in K-pop when someone is like really really good looking that they make everyone else look ugly, or like they're just like such a good singer they make everyone else sound like a bad singer. That's why those really stand out. But the average K-pop idol is good looking and can sing, can sing fine, can dance fine. But when they put Kim Garen on hiatus. I'm like, oh well, she's gone. She's not coming back. That was obvious. But then you had all these people like, oh no, she's gonna come back. I'm like, no, she's not. It's very rare when there's a controversy, and during the controversy, the company doesn't defend the idol. I'm like, yeah, they're not coming back because they're not being defended. And then, like in this situation, the idol, Manon, and the company are saying two different things. Okay, well, obviously they're not even communicating with each other, and the fact that she feels comfortable saying that she's fine means the contract's probably over, because you usually have a contract that where like you can't. There's certain stuff you can't say, there's certain stuff you can't do. And so the fact that she felt comfortable saying what she said means, okay, well, she's not worried about the company. She's not worried about repercussions. She probably knows the contract's going to be torn up. Like they probably have an agreement where like she can't say she's kicked out, but she could say I'm fine, and so that's a technicality. So she never said I got kicked out, but she did say I'm fine, which is like, okay, there's a different communication. But anyway, I think I made my point, right? Manon is not in Katseye. This is probably on a scale. No more scales. If I had a top, which I do have, a top 10, no, a top 5 sexiest K-pop idols right now, she's in the top 5. Yoonchae is definitely in the top 5. Yoonchae is a woman that every time I see her on screen, like if I'm on YouTube and she just happens to be on a video, I am very distracted. She alone can make katseye popular, because I don't think katseye is popular because they're not popular in Korea. But anyway, once Manon is officially gone, they need to refocus, make Yoonchae the center, and just really lean on her looks. And I know what she's wearing is like whatever, but she's wearing the most clothes out of all these girls, and she looks the best. Even though her top is questionable. Like what the hell? Anyway, I'll probably do another one about how where I rank the current best visuals, because I got nothing else to do. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.